This is me. I just disconnected myself from the whole internet. Without internet, I cannot watch YouTube, I cannot talk to my parents on WhatsApp, I cannot attend online meetings, I can't even check my emails, and I cannot do thousand different works or other things that we do in our daily lives. But what is internet and how connecting to it gives us access to thousand different services? Just a single connection and you can talk to your friends on the opposite side of the earth. Let's dive in and learn how the internet connects the whole world together. Chapter 1, the basics. Let's start with the very basics of internet and networking. So let's start by defining what is a network. A network is nothing but a connection of two or more than two computers or devices together where both can talk to each other. In this case, we have two computers with their IP addresses, but it can be multiple computers connected to each other. If they can talk to each other through any medium, then it's called a network. So in this case, the connection medium is Ethernet. If I give two computers an IP address and connect them together with an Ethernet cable, they can talk to each other, which will be called a network. So this is the basics of network. You can extend it to multiple computers and connect them together. So when you connect multiple computers together, you have a topology according to which we connect computers. The very common type of topology is star topology, where we connect our devices to a single point. The single point can be a router, a switch. In most cases in household, you will see these routers, the devices with antennas where you can connect your laptops or phone through Wi-Fi or through Ethernet cable. So another type of topology is mesh topology. In this topology, every device is connected to every other device on the network through cables. So this is the basics of networking. So at the end, if two or more than two devices are connected together and if they can talk to each other, then we call it a network. Chapter 2, the genesis of internet. When we talk about internet and its genesis, it all started from ARPANET, which is Advanced Research Project Agency Network. Basically, it was an interconnection of different computers to share information, and it was developed by United States Department of Defense in 1977. If you look at the image is very complex, but it is a very simple interconnection of computers together. So as the time passed, the network grew and more such networks and computers started connecting together, and it all connected together where each devices can access the other device, and this is how internet formed. Now at its core, internet is nothing but a huge interconnection of different devices and computers together where they can connect and talk to each other. Chapter 3, the role of internet service provider and different devices on internet. Now as the network grew and more such computers started joining the same network, people can talk to each other over the network. Since the network grew large and large, ISPs were developed. Now ISPs were the gateway for the internet main network. ISPs connected people through them to the main internet network. Now you as a person sitting in home, you are connected to your ISP and your ISP is connected to the main internet network. So for internet, ISP is your gateway. Now there are different modes of connection. These connections can be wire. Most of the time you will see an Ethernet cable, and oftentimes you also notice fiber cables. But in our home network, we often encounter Wi-Fi. So it is a wireless mode of connection, but at the end, we are connecting to our ISP as a gateway to internet. Now we as a person can talk to any of these computers through our ISP and through the main network of internet, and we can also talk to other peoples as well. If I want to talk to this person, my request will go through my ISP to the main network to the other ISP and to the other person. So this is how people connect to each other through internet, because internet is nothing but a huge interconnection of devices. So if you are connected to the network, you can talk to the other person. We oftentimes see these devices in our home network or office networks. These devices are used to connect to our ISP. For example, this router. To this wireless router, you can connect your devices through Wi-Fi, let's say, and this is a switch where you can connect different computers through Ethernet wire, but at the end it will all connect you to the ISP and the ISP will connect you to the internet. Chapter 4, the services that we access. So now in our daily life, we access different services like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Those are the services that we can connect to using the internet. Now, for example, YouTube. YouTube is an application that is running on a computer in a Google server, let's say. Now, YouTube has a computer on which it is running, and that computer is connected to internet, so we can reach it. So now the computer on which the YouTube is running must have an IP address. So if I rename this and let's say YouTube has an IP address of 10.0.0. Let's say 4. Now this is the IP address of YouTube computer where the YouTube is running. Now if I want to talk to YouTube, generally I will open up my YouTube and the app will start showing my video, but in the background basically my phone is connecting to my ISP, and through ISP it is connecting to internet, and on the internet the YouTube computer is present on an IP address. So if I open up youtube.com, how does it connect to an IP address on internet? So which is using a service called DNS. So DNS is kind of a phone book directory for internet. It converts the name into IP addresses. So for example, if I say youtube.com, it translates the name into IP address. So through this translation, we can access YouTube on the internet. So as an user, you can go to your browser and type youtube.com, and it will translate the youtube.com name to an IP address, which is the IP address of computer of YouTube on the internet, to which you connect through your ISP. So you request youtube.com, which goes through ISP to internet to youtube.com. The similar situation is with all the services that we access on internet: WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, similar thing. So let's imagine you are making a call on Google Meet. So if this is the other person joining the call, you are connecting to a server of Google Meet. So since you are on the same internet, you can talk to each other through that Google Meet server. So this is how everything is connected together. So to conclude everything, internet is nothing but a huge connection of computers on a single network. For example, YouTube, WhatsApp, everything lives on internet, which is interconnection of computers. You as an user, through your router, you connect to ISP, and your ISP will connect you to internet. And now since you are connected to internet, you have access to all the services, and I better say computers which are running on the internet. These services are present on the internet by a name. For example, youtube.com, instagram.com, whatsapp.com. So those are the names which are translated to IP addresses. Those IP addresses are the actual address of computers on a network. So now you can connect to those services using their names, and if the other person is also connected to the same internet, you can talk to that person through internet. So this is how internet works. See you in the next one, and keep watching.